Hey guys, welcome to another video. I just wanted to give my initial reactions to the new Comm-Link that came on the 15th of June, which is 2 days ago now. So, just going through it, I'll be reading through and then giving my initial reactions, and I'll just shove some lovely Darktide gameplay on in the background for you to please your eyes. Starting off, they mention rejects. This is Catfish, Darktide Community Manager. Here with another Comms-Link update. We established these Comms-Links to answer some of the community's questions and to give information about upcoming patches. Okay, let's see what we have. Patch 11, CrossPlay, Blessing Balancing, and New Condition. Our next patch, 1.1.10, which will deploy at the end of June, early July, will include, I'm just going to mention before I carry on there, end of June, early July. That means it's going to be middle of July, just to let you know. We will include a few Blessing balance changes as well as the new dubbed special condition, Elite Resistance, which will spawn fewer but tougher enemies. Roadside missions, Enclave and Barros, and Comsplex 154-2F will also be affected by power supply interruption condition. Okay, so I'll be interested to see which blessings they balance. I can't really give an insight to what I think that might be, because I'm not sure which ones need it off the top of my head, but throw them down in the comments if you know. I always love new special conditions, so it's nice to see that we're going to have a new one, Elite Resistance. So it's going to spawn fewer but tougher enemies. Off the top of my head, I think that's going to be lots of elites, specialists, and ogrins. Maybe even some monstrosities more often, which would be nice. I think, as a plasma gun enjoyer myself, I think I'm going to really enjoy that special condition, because heavy weapons that can take down big targets are going to be very useful on that. And you can kind of go with like a sort of heavy loaded team composition, which should be a lot of fun. Throat sign missions being part of power supply interruption, are they going to force that for the first week? Hey, it's a new condition. We're going to make that something you can play a lot so you can experience it. I don't think a lot of players are going to enjoy that, but you know, they seem to think that hunting grounds and power supply interruption are the player base's favourite conditions, so we'll see. Moving on. In addition, we are preparing to roll out crossplay between Microsoft Store and Steam, which should align with Patch 11's release or shortly thereafter. We will be monitoring closely how crossplay fares in stability and performance. Should there be any issues, our team will stay on top of things and chart a path to ensure a smoother experience. Okay, this is very good news. It was a talking point in the game's initial release as to why Game Pass and Steam couldn't play together. I'm not sure why that wasn't a thing to launch the game with, but at least it's here now. Well, here eventually, possibly mid-July. They say early June, late June, early July, but I don't believe that until I see it. But this is very, very good news. It means that we're going to have a nice boost to the active players for the servers, which should make the game feel a bit more lively. Means you'll be able to jump into games more. Not that you've ever had, or I've ever had an issue to jump into games currently, but it's always nice to integrate player bases and get that player count up. Moving on, they say, most importantly as part of this, all players may be required to rename their account. That's a bit of a drag. For full FAQ for crossplay will be added to fatshark website, forums and the Darktide Discord, but here are some answers to some preliminary questions you may have. Steam players can matchmake, add friends and join players from the Steam and Microsoft Store in our new crossplay servers. Players cannot opt out of crossplay. MS Store, players can matchmake, add friends and join players from the Steam and Microsoft Store. It's the same text, so I'm just going to move on. Cross progression, players cannot currently move their progress from one platform to another. Cross commerce, players cannot move their DLCs, such as Imperial Edition, from one platform to another. So essentially it sounds like if you bought the game or have the game on Microsoft Store or Steam or Game Pass, then you have to keep playing on there, because if you move to Steam or buy the game on Steam, it's essentially a new account for the game. But that's not really a big deal, because if people bought it on Game Pass initially, then I'm sure they won't have much trouble just continue playing the game on there. Cross VC, players cannot move their Aquillas from one platform to another, so that's just reinforcing that if you started playing the game on Steam or Game Pass, stay there. Okay, community feedback. The team continues to review some of the top issues, areas of feedback that we see. most notably the desire for more agency in things like account-based currencies, perk refinements, adjustment to crafting locks, and options on the mission board. Before I move on, I'm just going to give my opinions on that, because that's quite good, I think. So if they're thinking, most notably, players have more agency or desire for more agency in things like account-based currencies, and before I move on to the next ones, that suggests, you know, maybe we'll have all of our crafting materials, dockets, and I'm not sure, Aquilas are already account-wide. Dockets, crafting materials, if they were account-wide, then we wouldn't have to keep farming on our individual classes to get those materials up, which is really annoying to me right now, because I have 3 classes currently. I'm trying to level up my Ogrin, who's level 10, and I don't always want to play on the one class, but I need to get the materials up so I can keep progressing their skill set. But if I could just build up the dockets and materials account-wide, I can play whoever I want to play to build up materials, switch over, and just... yeah, I think that's a great addition, if that's what they're thinking about. That's what, my initial thoughts is that that's what they're going to be thinking about, but we'll see what happens in the future. Perk refinements, as long as they get rid of the perk lottery, then I'm a big advocate of that. Adjustment to crafting locks, always a big advocate of that as well, because I really want to be able to build the weapon of my dreams without having to buy or roulette my way through 1,000 different weapons to get there. And options on the mission board. Of course, that means everyone wants the ability to switch or pick any mission they like with the special condition, but I'm doubtful that will happen. But any addition to make it easier or better, I'm looking forward to that. We are not ready to announce anything concrete yet, but stay tuned. So that means we may get these changes by Christmas. We will share more details on our next steps during summer, so to release for Christmas. What is important to know is any upcoming changes aren't the end of the journey in those areas, rather the beginning as we continue to evolve Darktide. That sounds very ominous, as if they're going to displease us and, you know, bear with us because it's just the beginning and we'll continue to evolve it after. I apologise for my pessimism about all of this, but I'm sure a lot of people can understand it. Xbox. We know it's been a while since we've spoken about our Xbox release. We are not working on this. Sorry. We are still working on this. I just totally misread that. We are still working on this, and really excited about launching on Xbox. Stay tuned for more information on a release date. My pessimism jumping out to the forefront there. But yeah, no, it's good to see them acknowledge the Xbox release, because I know Xbox players have been itching to get onto the game. It's sad that this doesn't involve in like PlayStation as well, because I'm sure console players in general want to be able to play the game. But good that they've at least acknowledged Xbox release. Though, if I was an Xbox player, I wouldn't get my hopes up because it still seems very vague, and so we're not really sure when this is going to be released. It says stay tuned for more information, which means I imagine they'll give us more information possibly in their next steps during summer, but that'll just kind of give us more information. The release probably won't come for a while, but that's just my opinion. That's it for this week. We'll have more information to share about Patch 11 when we will get closer to its deployment. Worth noting, the cadence of the Comms-Link will change due to Swedish vacations. We'll keep you informing about Patch 11 before taking a small break until the second half of July. We wish you all a happy summer in the city. Okay, my thoughts on this Comms-Link. It's a decent update, you know. It's big because we get the likes of CrossPlay finally coming through. Always love a bit of balancing and a new condition. I am excited to play the new condition, Elite Resistance, because I love heavy shooting weapons such as the plasma gun. So I'm going to have quite a riot on that mode with that gun. We'll just take a dive into the comments before I sign off. Short but sweet. You didn't mention XYZ. I mean, that's the feedback everyone's going to give. Throw inside missions, but not sticker export. Yeah, that's true, actually. Surely it can't be too difficult to turn the lights off, but I'm not a game designer, so I don't really know. There's a lot of disappointment, I think I'll say, about the comments on the Comms-Link. And instead of going through all the disappointments, I'm sure you'll enjoy to read through those yourself. So, with that all out of the way, I'm going to sign off now, and I hope that you enjoyed this little Comms-Link update from me. It was a heavy reading session, and, you know, let me know if you would like me to do an update for the next one, or any of the next patches, because if you like it, I'll record it. So, yeah, I will see you in the next video, which should be out today as normal. Bye-bye.